afternoon, everyone. Mark Curtis with you here in the 12 News studio, and you're looking at a live picture right now of Air Force One, which just touched down in Yuma. And at any moment, we're expecting President Trump to get off the plane. He will visit Yuma this afternoon and take a look, and not only at all of the things that they've set up to protect the border there, but also tour a portion of the border. He'll be talking to Marines that are stationed in Yuma, and then after his visit there, he will be making his way up to the valley for a rally that is scheduled for later on tonight. The rally will be at the Phoenix Convention Center. Of course, we've known about that for several days now. 12 News, of course, is your source for complete coverage of the president's valley visit, as well as the planned protest. Our team coverage includes an hour-long 12 News at 6, followed by the president's speech. Will be live at 7. And, of course, you'll be able to watch that here on 12 News. Let me tell you a little bit about why he's going to Yuma before he disembarks and flies up here to the valley. He's visiting in what they're calling a Defend Our Borders visit to the Yuma sector. President Trump is visiting the main base of operations for the U.S. Border Patrol's Yuma sector to evaluate the results, the initiatives, and the morale as he wants to drum up support for the U.S. Border Patrol. The president will meet with U.S. Customs and Border Protection down there. Personnel and state-of-the-art equipment used to secure our border will be on display for the president, and that includes the new Predator unmanned aircraft, the drone, which patrols that area. Also, the Black Hawk helicopter, which for years has been a major part of the coverage in the Yuma sector. Also, the Super King aircraft. He'll also receive a briefing on the Department of Homeland Security's efforts along the southern border to prevent illegal entry into the country. It's important to note at this point that illegal border crossings in the Yuma sector have declined 70% since 2006, when the Yuma sector built more than 50 miles of border wall. Again, if you're just tuning in, you're looking at live pictures here on 12 News as we begin our coverage of the president's visit to Arizona, beginning in Yuma, where he just touched down, and then later on this evening, he'll make his way up to the valley for a rally later tonight at the Phoenix Convention Center. To jumpstart construction of the border wall, the president ordered DHS to use $20 million of unspent appropriations in its account for border security, fencing, and infrastructure. DHS has authorized a waiver to expedite a 15-mile stretch of wall near San Diego. That's already underway. The president, of course, it's no secret, has worked with Congress to try to pass border wall funding, and the House passed $1.6 billion to fund 28 miles of new border wall and 46 miles of new and secondary fencing. One of his first executive orders was to inform sanctuary cities in America that failure to fully abide by federal immigration laws would jeopardize federal grant money. That's one of the reasons why tonight we expect protests that we'll see here in downtown Phoenix. We'll likely see both pro-immigration folks out protesting and supporting the president, and anti-presidential orders on tightening down illegal immigration also protesting in the streets. Last month, the Department of Justice laid out new guidelines requiring jurisdictions to cooperate with federal immigration authorities in order to receive grants, a leading source of federal law enforcement funding. All of this has brought us to this interesting point in time where, despite the president's calls for unification last night in his speech, we have seen a great division in this country. Those that are pro-President Trump and those who think that his methods are a little bit too tough, or a little bit unfair. They've split up families. There's also been talk about whether or not the president would pardon Sheriff Joe Arpaio tonight. We've been told within the last few minutes thanks to Bram Resnick's reporting, the White House is telling us that a pardon will not be issued tonight by the president when he comes up here for his rally. The president also ordered the hiring of 10,000 new U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement officers and 5,000 additional Border Patrol agents. 54 immigration judges have been hired since President Trump took office to speed up the removal of illegal immigrants from the U.S., and new immigration judges, we're being told, are hired every month. Again, you're looking at live 12 News coverage of Air Force One, which just touched down about 10 minutes ago in Yuma, where the president will visit with Border Patrol agents, take a look at all the new equipment they have down there, and also visit the border wall, which we're being told is underway, as he had promised. A little bit of background on how things have changed at the border, and there's President Trump making his way off Air Force One after speaking last night at Fort Myer in Virginia. Once he gets on the ground, he will likely be whisked away rather quickly to visit with Border Patrol agents and also the Marines who are stationed there at Yuma. The president, as we've reported, supports passage of Kate's Law to increase mandatory penalties for illegal immigrants who re-enter the U.S. and are apprehended to a minimum of 2 years and a maximum of 25 years. Secret security there, waiting to whisk the president away as quickly as they can as he makes its way into his limousine there. And again, all of this a precursor to his plans for later tonight, the big campaign rally at the Phoenix Convention Center, which is slated to start at 7 o'clock tonight. We'll be on the air from 6 to 7 with a special 1-hour edition of Arizona Nightly News at 6, 12 News at 6, and then we'll begin our live broadcast for all of you to watch the president's speech here in Phoenix.